What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Unplayable, your favorite show about our favorite games. I'm D-House here with Jim, Mike, and Jay. The Motley Crew is back, and we are ready to talk about all things games. Mike, how are you doing today?
I'm pretty good. Pretty good. Had a nice day off. How about you guys?
Oh yeah, it's Labor Day. I had my 5-year wedding anniversary this weekend.
Congrats.
Congrats.
Yeah, it's been a good weekend. Nice, relaxing, except it wasn't relaxing at all. But yeah, it was a nice 3-day weekend.
Very nice. I worked this today.
Of course you did.
Yeah, no doubt. So it was good, but I played a lot of games that I'm excited to talk about in just a little bit. So for the first time ever, I've actually played games.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, I just got back to Chicago from Kentucky, where I was hanging out with little Jimbo at a wedding, and we celebrated, and it was great. But we're here to talk about games, and I want to just dive in. I don't care what board games Jay played this week. I want to talk about.
We have an official. It's called Jay's Gaming Corner, and I have games that I definitely want to talk about today.
It's called Jay Explains Games, and then Mike buys them.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna
this.
set a timer on my phone.
No. You can go first. Coach. But I definitely have some games I want to talk about.
Well, I feel like if we get into Lorcana stuff, it's going to take us a long time. So you might as well just dive on.
Are you diving into Lorcana now? Okay.
I think that's the biggest thing that we're gonna.
Well, my first question was the wedding you went to, was it actually yesterday? The wedding was yesterday?
2 days ago.
Okay. I was going to say yesterday was our anniversary, so they would have got married on the same day as me.
Y'all could have celebrated together.
Unironically, also Zach Bunn's wedding anniversary. We actually got married on the exact same day.
Congratulations.
Oh, wow. So
Jay
he was
and Zach.
celebrating his 5-year anniversary yesterday, I guess.
What do you know?
Anyway, yeah, so I've played a few games since we last podcasted, but definitely one of the ones I want to talk about is called Castles by the Sea. This game is really cool. So first of all, the artwork style of this game is a category of artwork that I consider as like one of my favorite categories of artwork. It's almost like Studio Ghiblish. Like I like that genre of artwork, but it's a little bit more cartoony than they do in their animated series. But basically you're little people and you live by the sea and you're building sandcastles that you like live in. But everybody has, it's really cool. It's really cool.
People get these ideas.
I know.
And then an 8-year-old kid runs through the sandcastle and you start.
That's part of it. You're getting ahead of yourself. So there's a like center board that everybody uses. That's like the ocean or whatever. And there's blocks, like little squares that are like sand color, and those are sand. And then there's like rocks. And then you have your own player pieces. So basically every round you get some sand blocks and you add it to the board, and you're trying to create certain patterns like up high, like it's 3-dimensional. And then you can place your pieces out there if you satisfy. So like in order to put a drawbridge, you have to have like 2 pillars, and then you put the drawbridge in the middle of it. And then, for example, there you have like different characters as well, like ranger, guard, or princess. And the princess has to be in a tower by herself at the top, and nothing can be around it. The ranger needs to be next to like a sand block, but up on top of at least one sand block. So he's like kind of like.
Are these like little
they're meeples?
Pieces?
Yeah, they're little meeples. And then like the guard or whatever has to be like on the top of like a wall where he can see out, stuff like that. So every turn you're going to be adding pieces of the board and then putting them out and getting points. But every turn you're going to flip to see if a hazard happens, and there's different hazards that exist in the game. So one of them is like a toddler, and it comes and like knocks over or no, this one like grabs all the people. And then there's a dog, and the dog comes and like destroys all the buildings in one section. And then there's like sandstorms, or what was the other one? Like a crab comes and starts destroying stuff. It's really funny, but it's a really interesting game, and it's cool how because you're all working on the same board, so you could build off of other people's stuff to like satisfy, so you can put your stuff out. It's pretty interesting. I really like the theme of it and the artwork, so that kind of draws me to it. But it's also good because there's tons of variability. So there's like, I don't know, maybe 30 different types of structures and people that you can have at any given game, because they're like, I don't know, 15 cards, and then each card has something different on each side. So it's pretty different every time you play the game. And then you don't always use all the different types of hazards, so it's like very variable on how you can set it up. It's a pretty cool game.
That sounds fun.
So
There you
that's
go. That's this week's segment of Jay's Board Game Corner.
yeah.
Already
We need like a jingle for it or something.
Mike, come up with a jingle.
Yeah, well, David just did.
Okay.
Yeah, but I need you
that.
playing guitar in the background like Glee style.
Got the reference in this week. All right.
All right. Before, any other non-Lorcana game-related, whether you played it or news you guys would like to talk about?
I've been playing. It's not a board game, but it is a card game. But it's a digital card game on mobile called Dawnbringer, and it's kind of similar to Slay the Spire if you've ever played that. But it's like made for mobile, and every once in a while I kind of jump in, jump out, and become obsessed with it. And over the last like 3 or 4 days, I've just been grinding this game mode where basically you only fight against bosses, and it's insanely difficult. And I've been trying to beat it for like 5 days, and I have not done it yet. So yeah, if you're into that kind of game, I definitely recommend it. I think it's like really well made. Lots of cool builds that you can put together with like the cards that exist. There's different classes. A lot of fun.
Sweet. It's downloading now.
Perfect.
Classic. So Jay talks about his games, Mike buys it. Mike talks about his games, Jim downloads it.
Them. Yep.
Right.
So now we
It's
need
free.
Jim to talk about a game, and then
Let me
David
tell you about
to
this
do
awesome
something.
game called Magic the Gathering Commander.
All right, we're moving on.
Well, it's great because I can tell a good story because I built a Tom Bombadil Saga's storytelling deck, and it played really well. It was really fun. Not like crazy overpowered, but each game felt unique and like I had agency, and it was cool, and a lot of good flavor in there. So I was happy that I built a cool deck.
If we have to talk about Magic, I'm okay with it being Lord of the Rings.
It's great. If you go and put that into your shopping cart, that would be great.
Yeah, let me get a second mortgage real quick.
Okay.
It ain't that expensive.
It's like $40 for a deck. Get
It's
out
not
of
as
here.
expensive as Lorcana.
True.
That's a great segue.
That's a great segue, but not yet because I have to talk about my other games, Mike. Nice try.
You have other games?
Well, we can't record a whole episode without talking a little bit about Old Swoo, Old Star Wars Unlimited. So it's been a fun, steady stream of spoilers, and I know going into this week I'm excited because it's like Command Week. It's going to be like green stuff popping up. I'm sure by the time this video goes up, we might even see some of that. But I think FFG is live streaming this week on Wednesday, so I'm really pumped to see what comes out of that. We saw the new Tarkin leader, which always love Tarkin in any game because it's just freaking Tarkin. So so real pumped about that. So made a video that we just posted about how to play Star Wars Unlimited on felttable.com. So if you haven't seen that and you feel like trying out Star Wars Unlimited, it's a great place to learn the game playing against an AI. And it's in your web browser. You don't have to download anything. It's super easy. So yeah, grab that. And honestly, this week was like David is like doing all the Star Wars lore. So I rewatched all of Kenobi.
Nice.
At the recommendation of Jedi Geek Girl, I resubbed to my Marvel Unlimited subscription and started reading the 2015 run of the Star Wars comics. And I was texting you guys yesterday. I'm like, how did I not know this was so awesome? Like there's scenes in there, and I'm like, this is 8 years ago.
Have you read the Vader one from that time period?
I don't think I've read any.
That one,
of the
That
Star
one's
Wars
sick.
comics. I remember reading a little bit of Afra because when Afra was coming to Star Wars Destiny and 000 and BT, like all these things, I was like, I don't know who any of these are. So I read some of the comics just to figure out like who the heck is this. So
That's a good idea, though. I'm going on a very long plane ride. Oh, Jay's got comics.
I have the entire Darth Vader singles run, all of them, and I have multiple copies of several of them, and then a bunch of the all arts. These
Nice.
are
I think I did read that.
They're really good. Are they? I have.
Yeah.
I think I have the whole first run as well. In my
So-
garage.
They're pretty expensive.
I'm having like memories. Aren't there like two other like pseudo apprentices who are like being trained, and Vader kind of goes on these missions with these two other?
I don't remember the storyline at all.
And
But
Jay's
I remember that it was
useless.
kind of cool.
He's gone.
It was really good.
Chair stream.
I liked it.
So anyway, sometimes my gaming leads me further into the whole of.
It
all the things that
introduces
exist.
like the Wookiee that was in the Boba Fett
in
series
Boba
and
Fett,
stuff
yeah.
too.
Oh,
Chris
Oh
nice.
yeah,
Oh.
yeah, Chris
Yeah.
Hansen. Yep.
Christian.
Who
Yeah.
I did love.
He's a badass.
I
Yeah.
definitely read a lot of those Darth Vader comics. Now that you say that, I totally forgot I
Cool.
did. I don't remember much, but
Yeah.
There's an
those are
Obi-Wan
pretty good.
Anakin series as
That
well.
one
That's
was really good, too. Yeah.
yeah.
It was shorter. I think there were only like six issues or something like
Yeah,
that.
that's pretty short.
And a Kanan one that was like a little bit of his backstory, which was
Ooh,
really good.
Yeah.
And a Lando
th-
one,
th-
which was also really good. There
That
was
one
a
was
lot of good ones. That one was like, I felt things reading that one because
Yeah.
you sort of like learn about Lobot's origin, and you don't really think that would matter, but it's very good.
It definitely makes me more excited about seeing Donald Glover return as Lando at some point.
Mhm.
hopefully it happens.
That'd be awesome.
I heard it was happening. Like that was.
I
gonna
think
be
they
a
I think
show
they
or
like
something.
canceled it but I never know what to believe anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, until it comes out, I don't believe any of it.
But I told my wife next time she goes to the library with our kids, there's a specific is it Light of the Jedi or Dawn of the, or what's the
Light of the Jedi is the first one.
Light of the Jedi? I was like, you got to grab this book for me because I'm just loving it. And also, hot take, but rewatching Kenobi, I liked it so much better the second time through than the first time through. Just watching it straight, basically. I don't know, seeing the Inquisitors and the third sister story come together. I'm like, I want to see more of her, and like what her journey is pretty crazy. So
I enjoyed the show a lot when it first came out, so I would like to check it out again. The only thing I didn't like was that the Grand Inquisitor's head wasn't elongated.
yeah,
Like
I
it
do love
was
the
in
actor
Rebels,
though.
but I mean, yeah, like you did a good job, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the cool thing is in Shatterpoint, the Grand Inquisitor is in there, and you can choose like which head to do for him.
no way.
Yeah,
Are you
like you
serious?
can do.
Funny.
Yeah, you can
What?
do the more realistic looking one, or the elongated, like
That's insane.
more animated
Interesting.
one. So you can kind of tailor it. They give you
That's
different
hilarious.
options. Yeah.
I wonder how that conversation went with LFL.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hey, we want to put this piece of plastic in the box so that the player can decide which version of this character is.
Well, no,
real.
sprues. They a lot of them. They give you options on how to assemble. Like you can do this arm with this
Oh,
gun,
so
or you can
pick
do the
one
arm.
head or a different head, basically.
Yeah, or you can have a shield or a specific like big gun. So it's not that uncommon to have options. So you can kind of tailor it to your.
Well, it's just weird
Takes-
to have those options of
Yeah,
Much different than like what are they
literally a
holding?
different shaped head.
yeah. Well, I just want the Chewbacca head from Star Wars Unlimited with the like.
Yeah.
I guess this is a good time to mention I just beat Jedi Last Survivor as well.
Come on.
Oh, it's
Um,
so good. It's so
What
good.
a fantastic game that was. I
Yeah,
really want
definitely.
to see more Cal Kestis and
Yeah.
stuff. Like whether it's like Star Wars Unlimited or Shatterpoint or whatever it is. Like he's such a good character.
Without it's too hard for me to ask this question without revealing things. Actually, I don't even know if I want to.
Spoiler alert.
Off
Just-
the podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fast forward a second or two.
Are you curious if that place is gonna come back at all? Like,
Oh
I'm-
yeah,
I'm
100%.
dying to know like what happened to that and
Mhm.
where it is and if other people actually made it there and all that.
Yeah, and if they like
What they're doing there.
started that whole journey and see if
I was
they
wondering the
they
same
actually
thing.
contributed to the fall of the empire at some point, or
Yeah.
if it's just all like, I don't know. I'd love to see more of that.
David needs to
100%.
That
play
was
it now
good.
so he knows what we're talking about.
No, that was really good. I have no idea what you're talking about. So I'm glad you had a full
That's perfect
conversation
because
about that.
99% of the audience listening will also have no idea what we're talking about.
I mean,
But
we
2
can
to 1.
just say it. I don't think
But
David
the
really
1, 2,
cares.
2.
But
Well,
basically,
you guys been trying to get me to play this
No,
stinking
you need
game,
to play it. You need to play it.
right?
he's
You
not
need to
going to
play
play
it.
it,
No,
dude. He
he's-
hasn't played a video game since 1986. He's not playing this game.
Half our listeners aren't even that old.
Just go on
Not
YouTube
true.
and
I
just
played
watch all the
FIFA
cutscenes.
07, so it was at least
my word.
2006.
You could watch all the cutscenes. That would definitely be worth it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, someone sent me a YouTube video of all the cutscenes.
I'll find one for you.
That's amazing.
You have to watch the
All
first
right.
one, though, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I love that. Maybe we should have a reoccurring Star Wars lore segment because I would eat that up personally. But we've got a lot of Lorcana to talk about. There are many different directions we could take this conversation. But I'm just
I
gonna
can start.
open it up. Yeah, I was like, tell me your current state of the game.
I traveled to a million different stores over the course of the last week and have found 0 product. So yeah,
Sounds about
woo.
Nice.
No, but I mean that I'm not super upset about that. I mean, I got some product from Gen Con. I have enough to be able to play if I wanted to. It's just I can understand other people's frustrations with it, but it's nothing new when it comes to a first set of a CCG, which I've gone through several times.
Yeah.
I mean, Flesh and Blood is still experiencing issues with cards from the first 2 to 3 sets being extremely expensive because there was just not as much of it printed as future sets. So I totally understand it. I mean, Tunic has been printed 3 times, reprinted in 2 additional sets, and it's still like a $200-$300 card. So yeah, that is to be expected if I'm going to be completely honest. I mean, cards from the first set in Magic, Power of 9, isn't Black Lotus from the first set too?
It's like a $20 card.
Those cards are super expensive still. So
Slightly different scale, but yeah.
yeah. I haven't been to any events, but Wednesday is the start of the OP or whatever for my local store. So I'm planning on going Wednesday night and having some fun. They've been doing events the last 2 or 3 Wednesdays, but they've only been starter decks. And I had my fill of starter deck tournaments at Gen Con.
Yes, agreed.
So I'm ready for a more constructed environment. I mean, even with the limited amount of cards I have, I'll have way more fun than I would with starter decks. So
Sure.
Yep.
That's where I'm at.
Jim, what about you?
So I also went store hopping in good old Lexington, Kentucky. I did go into one GameStop where I asked if they had any Lorcana, and they laughed me out of the store. Like, yeah, man, we're not going to get that. I was like, cool. Just asking a question. But I've gone to Walmart more this past week than I probably have in the past 6 months, and nothing. But do have one game store that's been hosting weekend events. It is starter sets, but it's a good deal. It's $30 for a starter set, and you get an extra pack and then a promo card, and they give you an option to buy a box, but it's at a little bit more elevated price than what I'd want it to be at. So I didn't buy a box, but it was fun to finally jam some games in person. There wasn't like any like escalating prize scale or whatever. If like you went 3-0, it wasn't anything like that. So it's fun to kind of like teach people the game, and then just jam some. So,
and what'd you open in your one booster pack?
I got a Cusco, but the guy that I played round 1 did pull the Shift Elsa out of his 1 pack, and I was like, nice. What are you gonna do? So he drew his all 3 games. I drew mine once out of 9 games. So I lost that round.
Just draw better.
Won the others. So
yeah, I mean,
draw better. That's the name of the game. Draw better.
It's easy.
Yep.
Go turn 7 Facilier, turn 8 Elsa, and you'll win the game against other starter decks. So
that's good.
What about you, David?
Played this is gonna maybe surprise some, but I played my first Lorcana games last week since Gen Con.
Nice.
So I can't even explain it. I think maybe I was a little Lorcana'd out by the end of Gen Con, and then all of the incessant, unending ranting on all forms of media about product shortages and price gouging and all that. Like, truly, I'm like, I just don't want to be around this game right now. I don't know. It just like literally was like, if I'm not playing with one of you guys, like,
I can appreciate that.
I'm just
This
out.
would be a perfect segment to have Chris on right now.
Like at one point in the Discord, I'm like, I said this. I'm like, if one more person posts a picture of a shelf at Walmart or Target in any way that gets in front of me, like I'm gonna lose my mind. Like what is the point of those? There's no point of those pictures. So I was kind of just whatever. But I did watch a lot of like I always watch your games. I watch Chris's games. I watch well, I guess that's mostly it. But I still enjoy Lorcana gameplay. And so actually yesterday I finally fired up Pixelborn, and I was like, okay, I want to build something that's not just meta, and started messing around with some. I really like purple and green as colors. I was like, I wonder what I can make with those that feels good, and I really enjoyed it. Played like 5 games, I think, and it's just good. So nothing crazy. As far as locally, like in-store play, I am really spoiled here in like Chicago suburbs because there's more leagues and tournaments within 30 minutes of me than I can even keep track of. Like there's just on multiple days. Luckily, there's like a pin post on our Chicago Facebook group with all of them. But
Nice.
It's kind of hard to be like, what do I want to go to? And like, you got constructed here and someone's running a draft here, but they don't know if they have product. Like it's just all these things. But the store that's 5 minutes from me, Fair Game, is starting up league play next weekend. It's like Saturday and Sunday. So we'll see how that goes and if people show up, but I'm interested to see what the local community looks like around here. So thinking about that with league play, I'm like, oh, I actually need to like build a deck with my, current supply of cards from Gen Con. So I have to actually go through and be like, okay, what can I play with just my collection? I know I can play a full play set of Gantu. So I might just start with
what
Steel
more do you need?
and see what happens. Yeah.
It's a winning deck list right
Dude,
there.
play blue steel on ramp to Gantu.
Yeah, ramp to Gantu.
Yes. That's the win con.
And name the deck RAMPTU, like Ram 2 Gantu.
Ramp 2. Yeah.
Ram 2 Gantu.
All right, we're trademarking that. If you're listening to this, Ramp 2 is coming to your local store. The funny part is like I could genuinely play that and not feel bad like playing against new players because I'm not really like I don't know. It's not like playing 4 elses or
it's
like
a self-handicap.
4 puzzles. Yeah. So that part at least is kind of fun of like, okay, I'm not going to buy a bunch of singles at like the prices right now. I'm probably going to sell some singles at the prices right now. But I still want to go and show up with the cards I have. It's like the original design that Richard Garfield had for Magic, thinking, oh, people just buy some packs and then whatever they have, they'll bring to the local store. I feel like people kind of have to do that right now. So I am excited to go through and actually like feel like a middle schooler going through my little card binder and like, what can I actually play and see what happens.
It's kind of the most fun time of a game, right? It's like when you are forced to make interesting decisions because you don't have access to everything.
Yeah.
And then the 2 people who just bought everything come and ruin it for everybody.
Yeah.
How do you fix that in a card game?
You do.
Could you make a version of Keyforge where it's still constructed except every single card is completely algorithmic generated and there's just like 10,000 different cards in one set?
Oh gosh,
you could, but I don't know if it would be fun. Because it'd be too hard to like. I feel like part of the fun of these games is knowing what your opponent is playing and could play, and thinking through how to outmaneuver them. And if every card is completely unique from each other, then you kind of lose the ability to do that.
That's sort of the advantage of having like a draft cube, right? like people are trying to get away from the optimized stuff, but not spend a bunch of money. So I've never done that myself, but I am sympathetic towards those who try to make that happen right now.
True. All right. Sorry. Side tangent. Lorcana. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess. Do you
Why
want
do
to
you
talk
think
about
people are so mad about allocation issues right now?
I mean, people are generally annoyed when they don't get the things that they want, and when they see other people get those things instead and then sell them at higher prices.
I also wonder how much of it is just like people who are used to Magic, where there's just way too much product all the time, and this is like maybe the first game they've delved into since Magic that's like, wait, what do you mean you don't have millions of packs in every store? Or just literally just new to card games at all. But I'd imagine the loud voices in the rooms probably like ditch on them. It's just they just have so much product that you're just not used to that.
I'm trying to think of what was going through my brain in 2016 when Destiny came out and was underprinted, and the next set didn't come out for like 9 months or whatever. But I'm having a hard time putting myself back into my shoes at that point.
It clearly didn't just keep us from playing the game.
No, it did not. Yeah, it did not.
How much do you think this impacts Lorcana's health in terms of people staying to play?
I think not much.
Not at all.
I think like long term, no. I don't think this matters.
Think so either.
I don't think that they're so. People have disagreed with me about this in some YouTube comments, but I don't think that Ravensburger is like dumb enough to not like massively print this set again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
And I think once they do, like the supply issues will kind of shake out, and we'll reach a point where things kind of go back to normal. I guess the worst case scenario is that they also underprinted set 2 and they're going to release it in November and it's going to be squeezed again like this set was. And then, people are going to be mad again. And then I think you start to lose a little bit of customer like faith and loyalty and stuff like that. But I think if they don't botch that, like if they don't literally like shoot themselves in the foot by doing something stupid, I don't think it matters. I think the game and the IP and like the audience is very clearly there, right? It's just like, are you like, I don't think what has happened so far is enough to burn that audience. It's not the company who's really messed up. I mean, in a way it is, right? Because they underprinted, but it's impossible to gauge demand. Printing timelines are incredibly long. And there's not really much more to say about that part, but like I understand people being upset at scalpers and resellers, and I mean, I'm not, but I understand if people are, but I don't know. I don't see it like being long-term bad for Lorcana. I think Lorcana still grows. I think it takes third spot in the big three. Honestly.
Yeah, I agree with that last sentiment. Here's a question. If you were Ravensburger, do you delay the release of set 2?
That's a great question.
In order to meet demand for set 1?
I think it depends. It depends on if they can get enough set 1 out before set 2 comes out. And if set 2 is as tiny as set 1. But I don't know. Is it worse to just like have this be the release for like 6 more months? It probably is.
Yeah.
The game probably gets really stale. People get get bored because they literally
especially for people like us that are making videos.
Yeah.
Well, and Pixelborn alone adds a like a little piece where like people can test and play at an extreme rate. So burnout can be real if there's not a steady drop, which I mean, they're planning to release 4 sets a year. I mean, we're talking November 17th is the date. And we're in September now. That's 2 months away. We're talking about set 2.
Yeah, basically 2 months and a week.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
So new wave of product theoretically this month and October. And then it's like, and then the wave of set 2 hitting November. I mean, I do think, when you think about Christmas coming up, like drop in a set in
They
November.
better print enough.
No, I have a strong feeling that set 2 is going to be underprinted as well. I think even if they come
probably
out
will
with a
be.
second wave of Lorcana set 1 right now, it's going to be underprinted.
Probably.
How bad do you think they estimated how much they needed, like proportionately to the demand? Like
probably like 50% at least, maybe worse than that.
I would say I say they need another 80% of what they already currently have out.
Probably.
It's a high number.
I mean, it literally is the Gen Con line in like
real life. Yeah.
In real life.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, they were shocked when people wanted their product, so they made no plan at all. And then day 2, they scrambled and were giving out coffee and donuts in the line.
But what blows my mind is that how much they brought. How much they brought to Gen Con.
Yeah.
Which makes me think they knew how popular the game was. I mean, if they brought 10,000 boxes to Gen Con and only 20% of the people were going to buy any, then that's still estimating that there's going to be a high demand. So why not? I don't know where like it went wrong, but I guess we'll see. How long do you think they can be underprinted and it not affect people from playing the game? So like set 2 comes out, there's not enough, we still have people trying to get set 1. Set 2 comes out, there's not enough, and then set 3 comes out 3 months, people are still trying to get set 1 and 2, and there's not enough set 3. Like, do you think at that point it's like people just stop trying?
I don't think so, honestly. No, I think like maybe some people do, but I think regardless of, I mean, I almost think that it doesn't matter. Like I think that there's a collector base for this game regardless of what the game does, and regardless of if anybody's actually playing it.
There definitely is. So I went around with a guy that lives here that I met on the Facebook group, and like we were hitting different stores so that one person would be able to tell the other person if there's product. He had no idea how to play Lorcana. He said he doesn't know how to play. He's just collecting it.
Wow.
Yeah,
and he never intends to play.
I think there's gonna be a lot of people like that. That's very true in the Pokemon community as well. And I think
he collects Pokemon and doesn't know how to play Pokemon.
Yeah,
which is crazy to me.
Crazy. Yeah,
it's a little outside of what we're used to, but I think like they're still trading cards at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
I think where it will be felt though is like I was having a conversation today at work of just like with 2 people who had never played a trading card game in their life, but they heard Disney, they heard it was a game and they got excited about it. But the fact that there's not a realistic way for them to even see what the game is outside of me showing them like Discord and Facebook groups and like all of these things and hoops that they don't want to jump through.
Sure.
Like they just like Disney.
They
think Disney
just want to go
cool.
to the store, buy a starter deck and play against each other.
Like if they could find the Disney game, like the Disney store at the mall, head in there, grab a couple boxes, they'd be thrilled.
Yeah.
But it's not available to them. And I do think that is actually a pretty huge market of people that would just want to check it out.
Well, but I think we get there at some point. I also think that like those are people who, like, if they go to the store and don't find boxes, like they're not going to go and complain about it on the internet. They're just going to like walk away and just be like, okay, like I didn't find it. And then maybe 6 months later, they go to the store and they see those there. They probably just buy them then, right? Like,
yeah, and they probably don't care that it's first set or third set. It's just the Disney game. They got to see it, so that part wouldn't matter to them as much. Maybe, maybe so. I don't know. It's a good point.
Yeah.
I will say the one printing thing that I do have issues with is these right here.
Oh yeah,
those are the worst.
I was like, cool. Like I got 2 of the pieces to the red Mickey card. That's great. And then I come and talk to you guys and you're like, hey, actually, so that's the only puzzle the entire first set. Ravensburger, you all make puzzles, literally make puzzles. And you made a 4-piece puzzle for your entire first set. Give me a 2,000-piece red Mickey puzzle that I can buy all of the packs for and get. Put little numbers 1 out of 2,000 on here, and I would collect them. I would do everything I could. I would sell these, trade them, all of the above. It's like you'll literally make puzzles and didn't do that. It's mind blowing.
They wasted so much paper with those.
Yeah.
Like literally just to get everybody to
Yeah,
download
get
their
the
app,
app.
but it's
Yeah.
all the same. It's not for like an online
But
client.
the
It's not for a
backside could have
pack
been
in
different.
there.
The backside could have been different.
Totally. Sorry, that's probably the most
Yeah.
animated I've ever gotten on this podcast, but I am just like, how?
So I'm right there with you. those are still tilting to look at.
Do you think next set those become a token?
Oh God.
I hope not.
Half of our audience is like, what does that mean?
Like there's a token
right.
slot instead. I don't think next set, but I think they could do it in the future.
I do think they will at some point, probably a year or two.
Yeah.
You think they will introduce
Some broom
tokens?
tokens or something?
Sure. Yeah.
What they need to do
Year
is
2.
yeah. Oh, I think they need to
don't know.
change their pack structure completely to make it more friendly to draft.
Yeah,
It's way too dang expensive
it's
to draft
too
this
late.
game.
Oh yeah,
too late
yeah.
for that now.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
Too
Well,
late.
yeah.
That's-
With the first
Yeah.
few sets, probably no, but within a year or two, they probably will.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, this is really interesting. My local game store is buying sealed Lorcana product because they can't get it to have
wow.
drafts. So they're buying packs for like $10 so that they can have
Jeez.
drafts in store.
Wow.
Or like $200 for a
How much
box
is the
and stuff like
draft?
It
that.
is the Wild West. Wow.
Is it like
It'd be
like
like
a $60 draft?
$40, I guess, because they would just do it at cost.
Oh wow,
Goodness.
that's wild. I don't even
Because they know,
if
like,
it's that
if
good
you
of a game
become
to
the
draft.
store. Sorry, go ahead, Mike.
No, I was just saying I don't even know if it's that good of a game to draft. Given the
Yeah, I
draft
don't know
rules.
either.
It's but what I can respect, a lot of stores around here are that like they're all trying to come up with like the friendliest way to get people in their doors playing
Yeah,
because they know
You
if
wanna be
that's
the
the
spot
store
for
where people
Lorcana.
play. Like right now, I've got 25 stores within 30 minutes to go play at. Eventually,
yeah. there's
not
gonna be
everyone's going to go to
one.
25 stores. There's going to be some
Like
that
3
kind
or
of rise
4.
to the top. Yeah.
So question: if this same thing happens with Star Wars Unlimited, do you like how different do you guys think that is between what's happening with Lorcana in terms of impact to the
Well,
community?
they already have to prove because of what has happened with previous FFG games.
Mhm.
So if the game comes out and there's not enough product, they're already screwed. Like right out the get.
Because they told everybody, hey, we're doing things different this time, and
Yeah.
And all of the eggs
It
are in this
turned out the
basket,
same.
and yeah.
And they said that having product at release is like one of the biggest things that they want to make sure they hit, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's not I am excited for Star Wars Unlimited, but it's not going to be anything like Lorcana in terms of like how many people are going to be getting into it. So I think it's a lot easier for them to
to
estimate.
hit the print numbers.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
I still don't know how you even predict how much to print. Like
it's called crowdfunding.
That would be the Ghost Galaxy knows how to do it.
That's true.
Keyforce. But I'm like, I would hate to be the guy who's ultimately responsible for
the
hitting
forecasting.
typing in the
guy.
number that you hit enter and say print this much. Like, because
that's Jim Cartwright's decision. So leave it on him.
Jim.
I don't know if that's
believe
true,
me.
but I mean, certainly in part, I'm sure. Like they have a ton of data though too. Like what Ravensburger has different kind of data. They don't have specifically like
They don't have
TCG
data.
gaming data. Like FFG has data from Destiny. They've got data from all their other board games and card games.
Yeah.
So
They can assume that at least the amount of people that got
that
into
played through
Destiny and the Star Wars LCG,
Mhm.
how many people would buy a single pack of Star Wars LCG when it came out? Like at least that much will be what they need.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do think
if it were me, I'd probably just like hit print on whatever the highest number of product at a time that they printed with Star Wars Destiny. It was like
Yes,
whatever their biggest print wave was, I'd probably do at least that.
at least that.
because again, I think the one thing that it's like very clear that Unlimited is doing better than Lorcana is that they designed the game with draft and sealed in mind. And we're getting some
lots more booster
streams.
packs
We're even
to
getting
open.
streams this month that they said they're talking about rarities and packs, booster packs, and all these things. So we're about to get details about what that all means.
So excited.
And
Yeah,
so
that
for
little
me,
comment Jim snuck into our interview. About stopping a couple times in the pack. Like that's gonna
Confetti.
be spicy.
I'm dying to know.
Yeah, me too.
but that's why I'm like, man, when that game releases, I mean, on release day, I mean, we were just trying to get product, but like to be able to get product and sit down like, oh, let's draft this real quick. Like, like we did when we did that 4-player, me, Mike J, and Mike's brother Aaron. We did that. I got my box. We each got 6 packs, and we just did a multiplayer game, and that was super fun. But for the idea of like, okay, right when this game releases, I'm sitting down and I'm drafting with my friends on day one, means I'm probably buying more product than I should because I want to keep playing draft. That's my favorite way to play games. I know I'm not the only one out there that feels that way. So
this just popped in my head, but traveling is obviously very difficult for us with families. But if we could figure out how to be in the same place when that game launches and hang out together and play that game, that'd be the most fun. We should say that. We should try to do that.
It's really easy to fly to Chicago because of our airport. So come on.
Oh, convenient.
I did not like the Chicago airport, I will say.
Yeah, well, here's the worst.
Well, that's ridiculous. But they do have Adepticon in Chicago in March, and FFG has done tournaments at Adepticon that are not mini related. Like there was Keyforge, Destiny. Like I played in a Destiny Galactic
qualifiers there,
qualifier, right? And it was, I think, across the galaxy release party. Like literally, it's the first time we opened packs. I was in like a giant,
that's so fun,
sealed thing. That was super fun. So there's been at least a question mark. I don't think they would, because that's a weird place to like launch the game, but they could very easily tag that on and at a big event that brings in people. So it's a question mark. So right. I know FFG never listens to this. They'll never hear this. So it doesn't mean anything, but I mean, Adepticon is right there. So, you know.
All right. Well, if it's there, I'll try and be there too.
Yeah. And if they don't, we can play Shatterpoint, Mike.
Oh, perfect.
It'll be my first time playing. That'll be perfect.
Yes. You'll have to break that shrink wrap and you know.
I'll just use your stuff. It's fine.
Maybe we can just rent somewhere and have an unplayable Star Wars Unlimited release
that would be very
for ourselves.
Fun.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. I'll start looking at Airbnbs or something.
Yeah.
We can just go somewhere.
Well, I mean, like an invite.
Oh,
like tell everyone on Discord or in our channel
friends
that they can come buy some product from us and play games.
Like are we a store now?
If a single person would be interested in doing that, let us know.
Yeah.
Gosh, an unplayable storefront. Let's make it happen.
Yeah. We just have to make sure Chris is there.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
I'll pay to fly him wherever.
Yeah.
That's so good. All right. Any final comments? That was 48 minutes of a good chat. I don't know if it's 48 minutes actually, but a lot of good
podcasts that say
lot of good chatter.
Podcast is mid-podcast.
It will be 48 minutes when I just like upload the random crap that we were talking about before.
Yeah.
Oh, please, let's make sure we end with enjoy these bloopers for you all at the end of this episode. little nuggets for those who made it this far. You can join our Discord, but also enjoy this.
You're making my edit job harder, but I don't mind.
Oops.
So
or
good.
you could just leave it in there and just, this is all trash.
Yeah, just make me look very silly.
A little peek behind the curtain of the professional podcasters that we are.
Very professional.
When are we going to play some Star Wars Rivals on the channel? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
That's a great question. I
Is
would
there-
really love to.
is there a
I've been
way to
thinking
do
about
it?
that.
Is it on
Yeah.
TTS?
There has to be a way.
Well, the best way is going to be Mike just sets it all up, and then we just have our deck, and we tell him, all right, put Palpatine here, put Vader there. And then I just have my deck of cards that says what it does. And easy.
I mean, we could easily do webcam.
For sure, stacking my deck.
Yeah. You could do webcam. It can't be that hard to make a TTS mod with this stuff because it's not.
The 3D
like,
models are what's going to be hard.
But I don't even know if you need the 3D models, right? Like you could just use markers.
Markers. Oh my!
There's probably some 3D models of
game.
those. There's 3D models of those characters that already exist that we can steal.
There you go.
That's the spirit.
Honestly, someone's made it for Shatterpoint, so yeah, you're probably
just
right.
Take all the characters from Shatterpoint and put them in there.
Or what's the old school Jedi Knight fighting game? What was it called? It's like the skirmish
the unmatched
game.
one, the one that was like unmatched.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was called.
Shoot, I can't remember it either now. Dang it. But they have that on TTS, and you can take the things from there.
Yeah, there we go. We'll just source minis from across TTS. We'll make it work.
Awesome. All right. Well, that'll do it for this week's episode of Unplayable. Thanks for tuning in. Join our Discord if you haven't. We've seen some people popping in who have listened to the whole episode and found some gems at the very end, which I love. But yeah, would love to see you in there. And until next time, peace.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Welcome back to Unplayable. I'm D House here. No, I forgot. I missed my intro. I forgot my thing. You guys threw me off with all your pre-podcasting.
How now?
What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Unplayable. Your favorite. I can't even get through this.
I meowed at the start of that one.
I hate you guys so much.
All this needs to go at the end of the episode.
We're pro. We are pros.
All right.